Good morning, folks. We start, as we often do, with my little girl Tina. But today, we've got a friend. Here's Viva, looking after for a friend while he's at work. Hey, okay, girl. Okay, folks, Friday morning. It is 9:15 or thereabouts, and beautiful day, beautiful morning so far. He's just caught on a rock, as Tina does. But it's lovely out here. Just spent a few minutes. I figured today I might try and do some kind of day in a life kind of video. My life doesn't have a lot going on at the minute, for obvious reasons. Let's put the camera on me. Okay, so tramp life's not particularly exciting. I seem to spend most of my day in camp at the minute, managing solar. More on that momentarily when we get back to camp. Because there's been an upgrade. I've hinted at it once or twice lately, especially before the incident. But in the past I had different priorities. I used to go and sit on some chairs on the top of cliffs further along the coast there, and I would sit there for 5, 6, 8 hours a day, drying, bedding, or just spending time. Now with the camp, with the tent, with solar panels, a couple of electrical devices, I spent time in the camp managing the solar, making sure to catch, well, until recently, making sure to catch enough solar. My latest setup, as I say, there's an upgrade. We'll have a look at that soon and explain why that makes a difference. But also why the Guardia Civil last week put a brake on certain changes that I could have made. So let's recap. Recently, like the last 6 months, 8 months, the job has been to manage the 2 smaller solar panels to make sure that I capture enough solar power, solar energy to keep phones and tablets and devices charged. And spent a lot of time managing them, turning them into face the right direction, making sure that the tilt is right for optimizing for gathering, because I had 20 watts of panel in total. And indeed for a long time I only had 10 watts of solar panel. And last summer that was enough, the 10 watts. In winter I was struggling, so Mark and Jeff, the gents who lent me the system, brought an extra panel, second panel, so I had 20 watts potentially, because winter, shorter days, less powerful sun, you know, that got me through winter. I thought that getting an upgrade would mean that I could kind of set it and forget it a little bit, maybe only adjust twice a day, go off through the day, leave the panels doing their thing. In all the time I've been in Spain, homeless, I've had nothing go missing from camp. Nothing, not a thing. I once thought I'd lost the clock, but that turned up, that had become buried in a storm, face down, and months and months later I saw something shining on the ground. It was the battery in the back of the clock. So I got my clock back. It's since been thrown when we did the tidy up a few months ago. Apparently we didn't tidy up enough for the likes of the Guardia Civil. But in all the time I've been here, nobody has ever taken anything from my things when they were piled up in the park under a tree, or from the camp. People have walked through, people have even been in my tent when I wasn't there, but nobody's ever taken anything from me, except for now, except the Guardia Civil, with no court documents, no paperwork, no itemizing what they're taking, no appeals process, just taking and throwing in a bin wagon. Well, that means now I can't just put my solar panels out and leave for the day, doesn't it? Which had been kind of my plan, to get my days back, to have a bit more freedom. So we might have to think again on that. Also, their shenanigans in the night and stuff, what they've been doing, and the time they drove the car at me. It means I have to be a little bit careful. Target on my back. I don't know, guys. I get the feeling that if I was to leave an expensive solar panel outside the tent, connected to an expensive device inside the tent, I might come back and find no solar panel, maybe no device, maybe no tent, who knows? What would have happened the other day if I'd not been there? I don't know. So I got to rework my thoughts about how this next period, how the next few months are going to develop. Let's just cut to my doggy friends. There's Viva, and here's Tina. Tina, go. Hey. Okay guys, as I said, I need to rework my thoughts for the coming months. How safe is my camp? Can I leave a solar panel outside if it's connected by wires to something inside? Can I leave the camp at all? But those are all, you know, that's kind of for the future. Let's just have a look around at what a beautiful morning looks like here in, or adjacent to the Tramp camp, behind the Tramp camp. Beautiful views. It's lovely and warm. I mean, already 20 past 9 now. I've got the sun on my face and it's kind of burning a little bit. Gonna have to start wearing the baseball caps again. We've got a few boats out on the sea. I don't know if I can zoom in on them okay or not. I can't see my screen properly, so I don't know how well that's zooming. I don't know whether you can see the boats that are ahead of me. I got one in the mid ground there, middle of the sea, and there are two over on the horizon or towards the horizon. Oh, but there's a doggy. Oh, there's one boat. Look, yeah, there's the boat. There's the one in the mid ground. Sorry, extensive zoom, so a little bit shaky. And above and to the right, there should be two. There we go. There's one. There's one. There's the other. There's the boat in the mid ground. Well, it's not on ground. Mid sea. I don't know. Amidships. No idea what the term is, guys. Lovely morning though. As I said, I think this is the beginning of a day in the life of kind of video. Not that there is much life. I'm hoping to. I'm looking after Viva for the day till her owner gets back from a spot of work. I'm going to be managing my solar. I got a couple of things to show you back at the camp, including the solar upgrade. And I'm going to cook later, but I don't have my gas barbecue anymore. I don't have my pans anymore, guys. So we're going to be restricted. What I do have, as you can see here, I have a Tina girl. Hey babe, come here. Come here. Kisses. Kisses for daddy. No kisses for daddy. Porque no besitos para papi. There you go. Besitos para papi. Well, there you go, folks. No besitos para papi. No kisses for daddy. That's my Tina. She's a little bit nervous around the other dog. She's a little bit jealous. Yesterday, the first time they spent a full day together, Tina was a little bit aggressive. The more we've had trouble from outside, the more growly and defensive and more truculent. She's aggressive in her defensiveness of the camp. A little bit concerning when your dog becomes more aggressive. She's always been a lovely dog. Don't get me wrong, she's a lovely dog. But the aggression side, because in her eyes, we've been attacked, we've been invaded, violated by the Spanish authorities. She's becoming a little bit more aggressive. And we had the Spanish cop threaten to shoot her. Yeah. I'll leave this section here, guys. I'm gonna maybe pan around and give you one last view of the sea and maybe of the dogs, and then we'll make a move. Okay, folks. Out here, we've got these boats still. There's one of them. There's the one in the mid-ground. Mid-sea, mid-ships, don't know. There's the one. The first of the ones on the horizon. There's the other. I'll zoom back out if I can. Probably can't. And here we are, guys. This is my perch. This is where I sit most mornings to get a little bit grounded, to get a bit becalmed at the start of the day, especially if we've had incidents in the night. Last night nothing went bump. There was nothing, which is a shame really, now that I'm all set up ready for them when they come. Still, I'd rather they didn't come. That's better than them coming giving me grief and me capturing on camera. Okay guys, there's the, and we're around to the houses. I don't want to really video people's houses. Okay. From Viva. And from Tina. And from me, Delta Mike. Out. Okay folks, coming back to the camp, back to the tent. We've got a little bit of water now. It's taken a little bit of a while to accrue some water after the Guardia Civil took away all my empty plastic bottles. If you saw that, they claimed that an empty plastic bottle was a fire risk. That's what they said was their motivation for removing things. So then they took away my green plastic table and 5 chairs because fire risk. But over here folks, over here, this, look at that beast. That's my solar upgrade. I got a Tina in my way, but get out of the way darling. Look at that, that's a 100-watt panel. That's my latest upgrade. Acquired by a loan from a friend. So basically a debt. But the intention is to work together with, as you've seen before. Come on folks, doggies, let me show the peoples. So the idea folks is it works with the EcoFlow River. EcoFlow River 2. Let's have a look. As I said, it is currently, I don't know, can you see the watch? It's 9:38 and we're pulling in 85 watts in. Can you see that? 85 watts in. Oh, I'm just getting a cuddle from Viva. Now that power is going to be used, doggies, coming in. That power is going to be used mainly over here with the box that I started to show you in one of the recent TrampCasts. I think it was the one that went off the rails the day after the Guardia had taken away all of my possessions. But the idea is food in a cool box that works from a 12-volt supply. Plug that into the EcoFlow, keep the food cool. So power from the solar panel into the EcoFlow River 2, out of there into the cool box, and keep food and drinks somewhat cool. How cool? I don't know yet. I haven't had a full day to test things properly. Banging my head on a light bulb. I haven't had a full day of using it to test it thoroughly. I did yesterday. It was 35 degrees inside here, and we got the temperature down to about 16 in the box. I think it was, no, 12 or 13 inside the box. That's probably, I mean, that was its first proper full go. And the thermometer is, it's my clock. If you look back here, you can see my clock. It has a built-in thermometer, but just resting the clock on the top of the food in the box probably isn't the best, because you're getting the warmest part of the box at the top, at the surface. So in an ideal situation, I'd be putting a thermometer or something down at the bottom of the box or in the middle of the box. They took away my only other thermometer. Yeah. So we'll have to make do. Okay guys, let's see how things go. Okay, it's just a couple of minutes after I was last on. I thought I'd just give a little explanation of a couple of extra bits I've just done. Yeah, with my solar. Give me a second, let's look at the doggies. Here's Viva, lying on the floor on the carpet inside the tent. And here's Tina. Tina's king of the castle. She's claimed the throne of king of the tramps. Hey babe, you're my girl. She's feeling threatened by the presence of the other dog. A little bit jealous, and so she's trying to assert her dominance by getting high and taking my chair. She wants to be the boss. That's my girl. Okay folks, let me just, I'm getting too old for this up and down business. So there's the panel I just showed you a little while ago. Here's the 2 original panels. I've now put those out. Those are in the sun. Cable comes inside through a little hatch in the side of the tent just here. My cable comes through and I've plumbed it into through a junction box into a 12-volt cigarette lighter socket, and from there we've got 2 USB ports. Plug that in,
two lots of USB. One goes to this power bank, which is actually Joby's, but you know, it's here and getting charged. The other cable, I keep. The other cable obviously is much longer. That goes usually to me wherever I am, whether I'm in the bedroom or in my chair. Keep the phone topped up with the Bluetooth speaker. Basically, whatever I've got to hand that I think needs charging. It's got the extension cable, and yeah, that's the setup. I'm using the big panel to power the big stuff. Let me show you that. I've had to move the fridge box, the cooler box, closer so it's within reach of the EcoFlow. So there's that. That's the big stuff. There's obviously this as well. I've put a bag over it to disguise it a little bit when people are walking past. A bag and a towel. Reduce the profile. If you remember a few weeks ago, I found a television next to the bin. It looked in really good nick, so I assumed it would work, and had just been thrown away because people had upgraded. That assumption proved correct, and I've used the TV precisely twice. Once to test whether it worked, and once to watch one episode of Friday Night Tights, during which I promptly fell asleep. Because why not? It's what I do. Okay folks, now it's just a case of sitting down and catching up on some news, maybe watch a YouTube video, see what's what. Maybe begin the editing of what I've done so far here on the cliff tops and back at camp. Just begin to splice them together, trim any rough bits at the end of the takes, and monitor power in, power out, make sure that we gain over the day, try and monitor the box. I'm still not 100% sure that the fridge box actually cools particularly well. I did ram it full of stuff initially. I got a large food donation from a chap called Mark, who was going back to the UK after a bereavement. Hey Mark, don't know if you're watching, mate, but thoughts are with you and your family. I've still got that food here. It's been about just over a week now, some of it, and it was frozen for the first 4 days, so it did keep it, you know, it was insulated, it kept it cool cold enough for the first 4 days. Now we're in the using up stage. A few additions of extra bits and pieces, but tonight I think I'm going to do chips, which has got nothing to do with the fridge box. I might do sausage and chips because I've still got some sausages. We shall have to wait and see. Stay tuned folks, watch to the end, see whether that happens, or whether circumstance intervenes, or whether at the end of the day I just can't be asked. You never know. It's all go at the Tramp camp. Okay guys, later. Join me on Sundays for TrampCast. It's the weekly look at the successes, the failures, the happenings in my life as a tramp, a homeless guy, a hobo, living in Torrevieja in Spain. It's at 5 o'clock Spanish time, Central European time. It's at 4 PM GMT, UK time, and 10 AM US Central time. Love to see you there, folks. Okay, Delta Mike, out.